Like I said, it's shoulder day today. So what we're gonna be doing, some presses, some rotator cuff stuff. So what we do in the fitness culture program, on the Swole program, on a shoulder day, we do presses. We're gonna do a lot of different pressing variations and a lot of shoulder work to keep rotator cuff, keep it healthy. We see a lot of people always talking about hurting their shoulders and doing all that kind of stuff. If you guys do these things and worry about shoulder health, you're never gonna have like shoulder impingements and things like that. And if you do, it's because you're probably doing something wrong and you went into it with some issues there. So we're gonna be doing that, and then we got HIIT today too.
Just a little bit, not much.
We got a little HIIT today. You guys ready to do it?
Nice and light.
We're gonna start off with a little warm up, and then we're gonna jump into the workout with shoulder presses and then face pulls. That's what we're doing first. Superset, blowing up the shoulders. Yo, on this program, we do warm ups you've never even done before. When was the last time you did a band overhead pull apart? So we got Watson dumbbells here that roll. It's just making it even harder. If you guys don't have these at home, you're lucky. Oh.
All right guys, so our first superset today is going to be a standing barbell overhead press, and then we're gonna superset it with a face pull. So a lot of the times in our programs, for the Swole program particularly, we're only hitting shoulders today. So we like to superset basically our big compound lifts, like the overhead pressing, all the pressing movements, with an external rotator or an upper back movement. Just because it's not gonna take much away from the poundage that you can do on the lift, and it's just a good time to maximize your time in between sets by getting in some work that people typically neglect when they're in the gym, right? So the stronger your external rotators are, just for anything, the better you're gonna be off long term, and the better your shoulder's gonna sit in the right place, and you're not gonna start pulling forward and be one of those guys that starts having shoulder problems. We'll get right into it and kind of break down some of the key points on the overhead press. One of the most important things that we just wanna get across on the overhead press, there's definitely a time and place for partial reps, but we try to make sure on this movement to always go full range of motion. So Steve, he's gonna start right at his chest, and he's gonna press through until his arms get all the way to his ears, just like that, right? So he's not gonna, you're gonna lean back to get your head out of the way when you press through the bar, obviously. But then when you're at the top, you wanna lock it out with your arms next to your ears. And the next thing here is really make sure to focus on keeping your core tight and squeezing your glutes as hard as possible. And that's gonna allow you to protect your low back when you do that slight lean back, so you can get a straight bar path. You wanna squeeze those glutes, and that's gonna protect your lumbar spine. I just wanted to bring this up because this happens a lot in overhead press, and this is one of the movements where you can actually utilize this technique. So we have him working off his percentages of his overhead press max, and the last couple reps, or on the last one it was 1 rep, that he kind of burnt out. And so we're doing a 3 count lower. So instead of just putting the bar up, he did a little push press, put his legs into it, and then he still controlled it on the way down, just to extend that side a little bit and get a little bit of extra work in. So for the face pulls, we kind of do, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but today what we're gonna focus on is Steve's gonna grip it with the back of his hands pointing towards each other, and from there, he's gonna externally rotate on the way back. So not only is he gonna get some work in the scapular retractors, but he's gonna work those external rotators of the shoulders as well. Next superset today is gonna be a seated Smith machine behind the neck press. So on the behind the neck press, really, if you don't have really good shoulder mobility and health, you probably shouldn't do this movement, because it's gonna be hard for you to externally squeeze your shoulder blade into a good position, externally rotate, so that you can actually press safely behind your neck. So if you're having problems with external rotation, then I'd probably move into in front of the neck press, or maybe if you have decent mobility, just don't go all the way down to your back on this one. And we're gonna be supersetting this today with a just 90-degree standing external rotator with a dumbbell. So Steve's gonna be standing up, pinning his elbow high, and coming all the way down, and then all the way back up, just focusing on his external rotators. next superset today is gonna be a wide grip barbell upright row. So Steve is gonna go basically to a grip where if he pulled up, he'd be about at 90 degrees right here. And he's just gonna do an upright row right there. And we're gonna be supersetting that with a seated, just dumbbell lateral raise. Okay, last thing for the shoulders today is gonna be an incline bench rear delt raise. So Steve's gonna be set up on the incline bench, and basically it's not gonna be a ton of weight, it's gonna focus on his rear delts, and then we're gonna be supersetting that with a behind the back cable, just lateral raise. And those are kind of nice because going behind your back, you're gonna be able to extend the range of motion a little bit, the tension comes all the way through, and he's gonna come all the way up like that. So that's the last superset for the day, and then we'll get into our HIIT. Last thing we got today is gonna be some HIIT conditioning. So we're on the Swole program, not doing a ton of conditioning, but we're gonna be doing 12 rounds. Steve's gonna be doing a 10-second hard interval. So we have an air bike, but you can also do it on a spinning bike. On the spinning bike, you're just gonna turn the resistance up, go hard for 10, and then turn it down and just kind of cruise. On the air bike, obviously, the harder you go, the more resistance it's gonna push because it's all air resistance. So Steve's gonna go all out for 10 seconds and then get a 1-minute break. And we're gonna do that 12 times.
All right, when Jake says all out, you gotta go all out. So it's no like, hey, I'm gonna go 90%, I'm gonna go 99. No, you gotta go 100%. Woo! 11 more. That is definitely, that's the most bang for your buck right there. 12 minutes of just hell.
All right guys, that wraps it up for day 4 in the Swole program. Remember, if you haven't already, you can click the link in the description to download this full week so you can follow along with us, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 5.